Thank you so much. Thank you very much. How are you? Thank you. You know, I've been doing a lot of pondering, a lot of ruminating, and I'm not looking at this as a retirement.
Oh.
I'm thinking of this in terms of what I like to think of it as a multi-game suspension.
That's right.
It's a multi-game suspension. And
Tom Brady.
People say to me, aren't you going to miss the applause and the laughter? And I say, well, hell, I'm missing it right now.
All right.
One more week of this, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll be standing on the corner looking for out-of-state plates. That's Arkansas, isn't it? I think. Whoa. You know, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, Julia Roberts.
Oh.
Julia Roberts tonight. Next week, I'll be lucky to get a table at IHOP.
I'm telling you. That's the way it goes.
You know what the #1 movie in the world is right now? It's Avengers, Turn of the Century, Ultron, something.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, that's right. Age of Ultron, the Avengers.
Okay.
#1 movie in the world. So I called the staff together and I said, who are you people? And then I said, let's put together a segment called Good Superhero, Bad Superhero.
Yes.
Because there are both varieties in the world, just like people. Superheroes, good and bad. Here's the segment. I hope you enjoy it.
Good superhero, Iron Man. Bad superhero, Ironing Man.
Ouch. 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 Ouch.
It's Mitty. It's Mitty, ladies and gentlemen.
Mitty. Come on, Mitty.
Hey, you know who was here last night and it's still exciting? I mean, it always, Bill Clinton, former President Bill Clinton. And the security was so tight, and it has to be, you know, if you think about it. But it was as tight as Governor Christie's yoga pants. Wow, it was tight. It was. They patted me up and down. They frisked me.
Yes.
My hand to God, I was groped.
Ooh.
I got back in line. Honestly.
I know.
And you know, the interesting thing about the Clintons, a political dynasty, it could be a political dynasty. Bill Clinton, former president, might move back into the White House while someone else is running the country.
All right, smash.
Huh? Think about that. Living in the White House while somebody else is, I mean, it's like George W. Bush. I like that. That's nice. Anyway, Jeb Bush was being interviewed over at Fox. But Megyn Kelly interviewing Jeb Bush on Fox News. Here, take a look at this.
Dealing with Putin is a heck of a lot harder than going to a town meeting in New Hampshire and explaining your views on immigration.
Let's talk about your brother.
I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if we have anybody here from North Korea or not. And are you? I have nothing against the North Koreans, but this Kim Jong-un, this guy's got a screw loose. I mean, it's just one bizarre story after another with this guy. Evil dictator, okay, but listen to this. A member of his cabinet, his security minister, nods off, falls asleep. We've all done it.
Of course.
Maybe a big lunch, maybe the room's too hot, maybe you're up all night, but and then you go to sleep. Right. Kim Jong-un takes the guy out and has him executed. For just falling asleep. And he was also deflating footballs.
Oh.
But he, mostly it was... So we have a report for you tonight about Kim Jong-un. I want you to take a look at this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Do we have the
Right.
do we have the tape of Kim Jong Un and the falling asleep thing? Do we have that?
Roll it.
I'm sorry. Where?
Roll it.
What is there a problem? I see. I know what that is. It's just a little joke. And, and now we're supposed to have an announcement of the irony of the tape guy being asleep before he can show us the tape of Kim Jong-un. You see where that... Alan?
I don't know about that.
Alan, do you have the announcement about the irony of the... Alan? Where... Okay. I mean, you get it now. That was our little skit
I know.
about Kim Jong-un executing the guy because he fell asleep during the meeting. So let's just, Todd, if we could just go on now to the next. Todd, if we...
Sorry, Dave. I couldn't resist.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that Todd is filmed before a live studio audience.
Yeah. Sure, everybody woke up for that part. Look who's here tonight, boys and girls.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I think we all woke up. Gene Cornish. Let me hear the guitar.
The lovely Julia Roberts is on the program tonight. We'll be right back with the top 10 list.
Just ahead, top 10 things overheard at the Olive Garden Test Kitchen. And the Julia Roberts. Fun fact, in 6 months, my job will consist of being pelted with strange items on a Japanese game show. The Late Show, sponsored by T-Mobile. Switch to the Data Strong Network.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Now, before the show, and I think people know this, if you've watched the show once, if you've watched it 100 times, you get a sense of it. Yeah, let me tell you something, even if you've never watched the show, you get a sense of it. I'm a people person. I love people. I love everything about people. I love the human condition. I love trying to help the human condition. I'm a people kind of a guy. I'm a kind of a guy, people says, hey, you, and I turn around and say, sure, what can I do for you?
People person.
That's the kind of a guy I am. You need a lift downtown? I'm going downtown. There's nothing I won't do for people, and normally, I'm not the kind of guy that blows his own horn, although if I could, I certainly would. But I'm not that kind of a guy. But what I want to make...
Yeah.
We come out before the show, Paul and I, and we greet people and we welcome to the theater, the beautiful Ed Sullivan Theater, because this has been our home for the last quarter of a century. Put it that way, quarter of a century. That's right.
Striking.
So we feel at home.
It's our home. This is our home. This is not our house.
It's our home.
We count the house. This is our home. Go ahead.
Exactly right. So I was talking to a young man from Brooklyn who works out there making small batch mustard.
Yeah.
And
yes.
And he wanted to give him something expensive, like the set.
Right.
And
he was bargaining for it.
And I'm not as dumb as I look. And I said, no, get lost. Now, I know that is contrary to me being a people person, but you should have seen this guy. No. So then a crooked politician from Albany stands up. And he said, give me something.
Right, please.
And I said, okay, just more to get him to sit down. And he wanted anyway, we have it here. Do we have it here? Can somebody bring it over to me right here? Where is the guy? Stand up, sir. Don't make me come out there. All right, let's take it up.
Thank you, Santa.
Is this the one we want to give out? This is the one? Okay, the double XL. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you get a lot of use out of that up there in Albany. It's a double XL, and it still looks a little snug.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the top 10 list. Let's go. Paul, would you introduce
David,
your friend sitting in with the band tonight?
you know who our favorite band is? The Rascals,
Yes.
the Young Rascals,
Right.
call them what you want. Felix, Eddie, Dino, this is the original guitarist all night, putting the grit and the grime and the heft into our Rascals set. Gene Cornish.
Gene
from the
Cornish,
Rascals,
ladies and gentlemen.
with us all day. Thank you. That's why the Rascals stuff sounds just a little bit better today.
Thank you.
All Rascals.
Thank you
all
for
the
being
time
here,
today.
sir.
Happy to have you.
Olive Garden has announced their chicken parmigiana and meatball sandwiches will now be served on their delicious breadsticks.
That's nice.
The Olive Garden Test Kitchen is located in Tuscany, Italy. The category of the top 10 list tonight, top 10 things overheard at the Olive Garden Test Kitchen.
Oh, over in Tuscany.
Number 10, is it pronounced Italian or Italian? Number 9, how about a breadstick you can sleep on called the bedstick? Number 8, stop trying to play God. Number 7, noodle fight. Number 6, it's the first of the month. Everyone wash your hands. Number 5, I want 50 ideas for scampi on my desk by Monday. Number 4, have we tried deep-fried lasagna? Number 3, the feds destroy everything. Overheard in the test kitchen. Number 2, starting to think it wasn't oregano in that baggie. And the number 1 thing overheard at the Olive Garden Test Kitchen, what other shapes of meat could we make besides balls? There. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Academy Award-winning Julia Roberts is here. We'll be right back. Our first guest is a lovely woman. I mean, beyond lovely. Just a delightful human being and a wonderful person. And like I was talking about earlier, magnetic and compelling. And we're lucky to have her when she visits the program. She's won an Academy Award for all the reasons I mentioned. And she's one of the biggest movie stars on the planet. So you're saying to yourself, what the hell is she doing on your show? Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend Julia Roberts. That's a nice looking jacket.
All right.
You look great in that. Please have a seat. How are you?
For the record, I had this on before the small batch mustard man. And when you put it on, and you look great, by the way.
Yeah.
I said, now David Letterman is going to think I was trying to be in the thing that he's doing.
Yeah, well, what would be so wrong with that?
Nothing, except that I thought that I was doing something new. I took this off Jenny, sweet Jenny, running around freezing right now because I took her jacket.
We'll take care of her, don't worry about it. But either way, I'm delighted for the coincidence. And let me just say...
It just shows that we are connected.
Exactly. Let me just say...
At least for 17 more minutes, we're like this.
We will always be like this. And part of my job is to underscore the obvious. Let me just say, you in your Late Show jacket look better than that guy in his Late Show jacket. He looks like we're making sausage. You look delightful.
Thank you.
Tell me about what's new in your life. Tell me about the kids. You have 3 children. Tell me all about them.
I mean, but I've come here tonight to just find out what the hell is going on around here.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, someone says we're closing shop around here. I turned my back for a minute. It's bullshit, David Letterman.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
Do you remember the first time you were on the show?
I do. Do you remember? You don't remember because
I
it's
remember.
been 6,000 shows or 5,990.
That's right. I remember I was thrilled and excited and nervous, and I had seen the film Mystic Pizza, and just, oh my God, I thought, this is fantastic.
None of this is true, by the way. But it's so sweet.
Yeah, it was lovely and exciting. And how many times have you been on the show? 50 or something like that?
No, I wish it was 50.
Yeah.
That would make me like Regis Philbin.
Well, yeah, do you really? But do you want that? When you think about it, do you want that?
No, someone told me today that this is my 26th appearance on the show.
Pretty damn good. And I think this speaks to what you were discussing earlier. Many people come and are on the show often, but there's never appearances like you bring.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
The first time I was on this show was to promote Mystic Pizza, and I, as a fan of the show, did not want to come on because I had seen you absolutely dismember young actresses of my kind of peer group. And I thought, I'm going to go on, and he's going to know within 10 seconds what my IQ is. And you are going to, like a samurai, just sort of like Benihana me into pieces. And I'll be left for dead and forgotten.
Well, now this is, I'm not going to dispute this, but let me ask you this. What do you suppose was wrong with me? Why would I behave that way?
You didn't behave that way to me, thus the 26th appearance.
Right, but why was it possible for you to have that perception? And I'm not arguing with you that that perception was false. I'm just saying, if I was doing that, and like I say, maybe it probably was. Why? What was the matter
Because
with me?
I think stupid people annoy you.
Well, that answers my problem of self-loathing. Enough of this. We'll be right back with the lovely Julia Roberts, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. 25th anniversary of the film Pretty Woman.
Yes.
How about that? That was tremendous. And you know what I read today was that the film that we saw was not the original script. Am I right about that? That there
Yes.
was a difference?
Yes.
Difference in tone, difference in...
The original script was a drama about a drug... I mean, I guess I can say this. I was hesitating as though it was going to hurt someone's feelings. I think we're all good.
I think so.
About a drug addict prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
And the end of the movie was the character that Richard Gere plays kicking me, like literally kicking me out of his car onto the street and throwing a fur coat that he bought me or something onto me, and the $3,000 and driving away.
Oh, my God. That's, and how, who changed, I mean, Gary Marshall directed the film.
Gary Marshall
Now,
directed the film.
He didn't want that script. You didn't want that script. Who wanted it?
No, I auditioned for that script.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I would have taken any part.
How did they make the change? Who made the change? Who?
Gary did. Gary did. It was sold to Disney, and Gary Marshall came on and reworked it to a point, you know, where it was a different tone and a comedy. But even when we were shooting, we would, you know, break for lunch because we'd run out of dialogue or pages, or he'd say things like, "Be funny, action."
So this was one of those where they were literally writing it day to day as the shoot progressed.
Literally.
For an actor, that's got to be frightening, isn't it?
Well, I didn't really know better. Gary just makes a lofty ship, and so, you know, it was fun.
He's very funny, very, very funny, and I think there's an avuncular quality about him that might be good to be around for anybody, really.
And if I knew what avuncular meant, I would concur with you.
Come on. Now, did you ever see Richard Gere?
Well, it's funny because I do see Richard from time to time, and I hadn't seen him for a while. And then we had a 25-year anniversary group interview that we all did together. Hector Elizondo and Laura San Giacomo, Richard and Gary and myself. And we parted ways. And then I think like 2 weeks later, I was waiting for my sister. I was going to say on the street, but it would sound bad in terms of Pretty Woman, and that I saw Richard Gere on the street on his phone, and I said, "Richard," and he looked over, and so we're standing on the street chatting, waiting for my sister, and she came, and we chatted, and then we left him, and then the next weekend, I'm at my son's baseball game, and there's Gary Marshall.
Oh, so
they're
another
popping up
extended
like
reunion.
peonies. Yeah.
But you raise an interesting point. People who see you on a street talking to Richard Gere, remembering the movie, are thinking, "Hey, wait a minute, I wonder..." You know what I mean? Dumb people thinking, "What, are you supposed to there's something to that?" You know?
It would be surprising, I would think, to look up and see Richard and I on the street.
Yes.
It would be surprising to me to see you outside of this studio.
Well, now, I don't know what that even means.
Let's just get it back to you. We have what, 4 minutes of our life together left?
Videotape.
We have videotape.
Videotape.
Of our life together?
I think so. Do you want to see it?
Yes.
All right, let's see it. All right, let me take care of it. I'll take care of this. Hand me that card. Give me that card.
Be sweet.
I'm being sweet. Well, we have to go. You can stick around if you like.
I'm so glad you feel better,
thank
though,
you very much.
sweetie.
Oh.
We missed you.
Oh, God, it's nice to see you again. Thank you so much. I love you. We'll be right back. Just
I know where this is going.
Julia Roberts, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait.
Hang on.
Wait.
Wait a second.
I just want to say, David Letterman, I love you, and I thank you for all of the joy and the laughs and the intelligence you have brought to us for 33 years.
I don't know what to say. Julia Roberts. I love you. Thank you. We'll be right back with Paul Schaefer. Boy. Julia Roberts, lovely woman, and been a delightful friend, really, over the years. And it's difficult in show business to find delightful friends.
You don't find them.
No, you sure don't. And she's been nothing but friendly and loyal and charming to us over the years.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I've had the pleasure of working with our next guest for 33 years. 33 years.
Can't believe it.
He is a Grammy Award winner. He is our musical director and, most importantly, a good friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Schaefer. Come on over.
Thank you, David. Oh, wow. Thank you all. Oh, that is very nice.
Very nice, Paul.
Very touching. Very touching. Thank you all.
Thank you for coming over here for a few minutes. We should have done this more often over the years. You're a musical genius. You've worked with everybody important in music for, 40 years at least, maybe longer.
I've had a great run. And
who stands out? That's a hard question to answer, I know.
As far as musical artists that I've accompanied and we've accompanied with the band, I always go for the same answer every time. James Brown. And the first time, yes, because he truly was. He invented the music that we're still dancing to even today, and he invented it back in the early 60s, late 50s. When that first time he came on our show in 1982, I'll never forget it. It was so exciting. He asked to come on, and he asked the band, what song would you guys like to play with me? So we had two of our favorite songs, Sex Machine, and There Was a Time. We had them all ready to go. He was a knockout. I remember Steve Jordan was in the band on drums at that time. We both had our first VCRs. We watched that appearance over and over again on the VHS tape, and not only did we memorize the music, we memorized the dialogue. And he, this is when he could do two songs, and the format of the show wasn't locked down. And he said, "You know what I'd like to do right now?" He said to you right on the piano, "Before you close, can we close with I Got the Feeling?" And he named a third one of his songs. You said, "Yeah, we'll take a commercial, we'll come back," and he totally spontaneously did a third number. Wow. I was actually 10 feet off the ground, couldn't believe it. And then afterwards, he summoned me. "Would you like to come? James Brown wants to see you in his dressing room." Well, my heart starts pounding, and I go into the dressing room, and he is under the hairdryer. Carries a hair. This is absolutely true. Carries a hairdryer, and he's there, and he's talking to me, but the hairdryer is going. And he's, I like the kind of fella, and I'm trying to listen, you know. You can't hear him, and I'm down here, and I'm listening, and I realize I'm supplicating myself in front of the master, James Brown, and that's the way it should be, because he was truly the Godfather. He had me down. I was thrilled about it.
I saw the movie about James
wasn't
Brown.
it great?
Fantastic. And they pointed out, and because I don't know much about music, that they pointed out that every instrument in his band should be played as a percussion instrument.
See, that was
and that made a big difference.
That was because everybody hit the guitar. Boom, 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 boom. Every instrument, exactly as you say. Was
and I can remember in the early days of that show, or of the NBC
Our show on NBC.
Bob Dylan would come on.
That first time he came on.
Very surprising. All of a sudden, oh my God, we got Bob Dylan.
Dylan is here, and I was just as excited, and I remember I knocked on his door. I wanted to say hello to him, and I go in there, and I see, you know, we've all been reading in the gossip columns, he's going with, I think it was Clyde King, the famous background singer, and I quoted his song. I think I'm so glib. I said, hey, Bob, what's a sweetheart like her doing at a place like this? I think I'm so absolutely nothing, no reaction, and it's dead quiet in there. Finally, it kind of sidles up to me, and I think he's going to like lay on me the secret of the universe, and he says, can you introduce me to Larry Bud Melvin? And I'm telling you, I thought he was kidding, but he wasn't kidding. He wasn't kidding.
And more than as a pretty big job being the musical director and producing tremendous music experiences each and every night.
Thank you all. Thank you. You don't have to say it, but I love when you do.
But you've also, we've been partners in, you'll excuse the expression, comedy.
Some kind of a form of it,
yes.
anyway.
Anything come to mind in that category?
You and I, well, I mean, I just remember that we were doing a sketch where I always seem to get hit. We showed that thing the other day, best of reel, and cabs are hitting me and things, and we would replace me with a dummy. And that time we were going to replace me with a dummy and then whack me over the head, got a bag over my head and whack me over the head. And I'm just sitting there resting in between takes with the bag over my head, and you're just warming up. I didn't know this. You thought it was a dummy.
I was confused.
Whack, you warmed up, and it would have been all over.
Very
you
close
said
to
I would
killing
call.
you.
I would be calling your wife once a year, find out how you are. This is in a sort of a vegetative state. And that would have been it. Oh my goodness! Well, it's a dangerous business when you do your own stunts.
We have. Now, we have is this a music video?
This is a music video.
Okay.
And before we show it, I want to just take a minute to thank the best band in the land who night after night turned it out. It's Aaron Hike, Frank Green, Tom Malone, Felicia Collins. There's our special guest, Gene Cornish. He doesn't count today. The three guys who were with us at NBC. It's Sid McGuinness, it's Anton Fig, and Sid's show number one, the great Will Lee on the bass. Thank you guys. You guys are terrific. Every night they save my ass.
Delightful.
They are. You called me up a while ago and you said, is there anything musically you'd like to do before we close it out? And I had this idea because I had met Gary Sherman, and I named a character on this show after him, the guy who runs the office in Washington. You always say, your friend, who is that? I said, Gary Sherman. Turns out he's the guy who arranged the original on Broadway, the actual Gary Sherman. I called him and I said, I'd like to make it, it was so significant when you put my name on the marquee a couple of years ago. There was my name in lights, and I thought, I'm living that song on Broadway. And so I said, I had this idea for a video, and you said, go ahead and make it. Jerry Foley went nuts with it. He conceptualized it. Are we going to show it? I haven't seen the whole thing yet.
But here we go. Paul Schaefer on Broadway, everybody.
Say the neon lights are bright on Broadway. is off and you're nowhere. They say the girls are something else on Broadway, but looking at them just gives me the blues. 'Cause how you gonna make some time when all you got is one thin dime, and one thin dime won't even shine your shoes. They say that I won't last too long on Broadway. I'll catch a Greyhound bus for home, they all say. Oh, but they're dead wrong, I know they are. This piano should have taken me far, and I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway. Ah, but they're dead wrong, I know they are. This piano should have taken me far, and I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway. On Broadway, I'm gonna make it, yeah. Have my name in lights. Everybody gonna know me, yeah. Down on old Broadway, yeah, yeah.
Paul Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen. That was wonderful.
Thanks for letting me do it.
I'll never be able to repay you for everything.
Thank you, David. Same goes for me.
Thank you, everybody.
Same goes for me.
We'll be right back with Ryan Adams. That was great.
Now you all can be free.
I'll tell you, I think it's obvious night after night. The music on this show is the glue, is the mortar.
It has been.
The foundation of this program
Thank
for
you.
33 years, and it
33.
continues tonight. Our next guest, talented singer-songwriter, whose memorable debut performance was here in 2001. He has a current album. It's entitled Live at Carnegie Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, we couldn't be happier to have him back on the program, Ryan Adams.
It's a long way down, and I feel alright. It's a long way down, and I feel
How you doing? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. 14 years old, that song is something like that? Fantastic. Ryan Adams, ladies and gentlemen. The album is live at Carnegie Hall. Just a little more. Can you reprise? Just a little more. Just a little more. Just a little more of the same thing. You have the same thing. Do it just a little more. Good night, everybody.
Nice pants, sister.